Okay, so honestly, I have been taking professional images for about 15 years now, but I've never actually done this. And so I decided that, it was about time to start posting basically everything that I've learned along those 15 years on how to take incredible images, or in my opinion, incredible images. So basically, I learned on YouTube, so it's only fitting that, everything I've learned, I kind of posted back. Hopefully it'll help you if you're interested in photography, whether it be sports, whether it be just taking family pictures. So it is very simple. I plan on just uploading all the tips and tricks that I've learned on different types of photography, and hopefully it'll be something that's super beneficial to you, and you can learn just like I learned. Let's go over there and I'll tell you about some of the things that I've learned in sports photography. Okay, so something that has, been very hard for me to wrap my head around, and it's something I've been working on to basically get better at this craft, is the idea that nobody really cares. And it's not that simple. It's not that, you take a great shot. It's not that nobody cares. It's that since they weren't there, it's hard for the viewer to understand exactly what's going on. And more importantly, to have interest. See, if you take, let's call it a picture of a guy or a girl, hitting a serve in tennis, and that's the only picture you create, it's a serve in tennis. Nobody really cares, even if it is at the US Open. What you need to do is educate the viewer on everything that's going on around. So it's this idea of actually getting better at storytelling. What we need to do is come up with this idea of, okay, I need to get the action. Of course, that's why we do sports photography. But I also need to get the detail shots, the before, the after. Why is this point so important? What is the emotion? Was it, match point? Or was it just, a 15-30 ace? The idea of educating the viewer based on images is so fundamental and yet so hard. So next time you're out there and you want to grab, an incredible image, even if it's like a family image, make sure that you also take 2 or 3 or a couple more to kind of educate everybody on what the heck's going on. And that's something that's really been tough for me, because normally I just go to an event, and especially when I was starting out, I just snap the action shots and be like, oh my God, this looks incredible. And then I'd share it and, nobody would care. It was not only until somebody actually told me, like, I just don't get it. Like, what's so cool about this shot? And that's when I started understanding that everything that's around that picture is as important as the picture itself. You knew I was going to catch that, right? See, that's an important thing that you need to become very good at when you take out the camera. In sports photography, yes, it's obviously clear that, in baseball, when the batter is on the plate, he's going to try and hit the ball. When you're in the outfield, you're going to try and catch the ball. When you're playing golf, you got to hit a swing. These are obvious things, and they're going to happen. But what you need to be really good at is anticipating what comes after. So a lot of sports, the reaction, the emotion, and where you get actually quality images come after the action. So let's take an example of golf. Golf, you hit the ball, it's very routine. There's no reaction because the player's done it a million times. But the few seconds after, when he sees the ball and it's fading left, or it's fading right, or it's going in the hole, and you can anticipate what the player's going to do. If he's going to shank it out of bounds, he's going to get upset. If it's a really good putt and you see that ball tracking into the hole, you want to be focused on that subject, because he's going to do a 2-second reaction time, and that is where you're going to get the quality shot. Take an example. Look at the Masters, Rory McIlroy. He had a very, I'm not going to say a long putt to win the Masters. Nobody remembers the putt. If I ask you how long was that putt, you'll have to look it up. But everybody remembers the picture when he's on his knees, hands and face against the ground, crying because he actually realized that he just won the tournament. That is the picture. And that's what you got to be good at. You got to be able to anticipate the good, the bad, what's coming, and be ready to get the emotional picture. Okay, so it's time to talk about something else. Changing your position. People are lazy, they're comfortable, they see something they like, and instead of just perfecting it that 2% more, they just take the picture and move on. If you really want to get those quality shots, it's important that when you're going to take the picture, you actually take the time to see what's in the foreground, what's in the background, where your subject is, where your subject's going, and kind of clean up the image as much as possible. A lot of the times in sports photography, there's a lot of elements in the background that just can make or break an image. In golf, for example, a lot of the times when we look at the background, there might be a sign, there might be a trash can, and just being able to recognize that and then just taking a couple steps left or right and trying to hide it or get rid of it in some way or shape, form, or however you can, go ahead and take those few extra seconds. They're going to elevate the way your pictures come out and to a level that I cannot explain. This is one of the most useful tips that I can give you. It takes 2 seconds. Nobody realizes they need to do it until somebody actually just tells you that, hey, this is gonna really make your image. Just next time you're out there with your iPhone, with your camera, it doesn't matter. But if you really wanna elevate your images, just realize what you're actually taking a picture of. It's not just a subject. It's everything that is in the background, everything that's in the foreground, and everything you intentionally got rid of. Very important to do. Hope you do it on the next one. Okay, and above all, and I guess kind of the most obvious, is to take the camera everywhere. I can't stress it enough, and I know sometimes you kind of go to an event and go, and I just don't feel like carrying all that gear, or I just don't feel like taking the camera. Take it. Take 5 images, then just enjoy it. You don't have to always be the guy taking the pictures, but you'll always remember those moments, and every single time you'll come back and say, thank God I took that camera. So above all, take the best camera you can at that moment. Understand where you're going, obviously. Sometimes you can't take a full professional Canon gear setup and you can only take an iPhone. But take something and always try and at least get a couple. If in the end you can only take 3 or 5 images, that's fine. They're gonna be memories you can keep forever. So anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much. This is obviously the first of many. But if you can, help support a small channel, hit the sub button below. I'll make sure that every video is no fluff, no BS, just me trying to show everything I've learned about photography that generally just took it to the next level. So if you want that, let me know in the comments below. Great, and appreciate all the support that you're giving. And I'll see you on the next one, all right? Take care, guys.